Oh God, Dane.
It's been over a year since I released my first 10 broken RPG party members video. Since then, I've compiled multiple videos exploring the topic of absolutely busted characters. I've also received a lot of comments letting me know of even more characters I missed. When approaching this next list, I decided to take these recommendations and find the 10 most busted. So here you have it, 10 more broken RPG party members taken straight from the comments section. The same rules apply here. We're looking at party members that break the difficulty of their individual games. This can be done via damage, support, or even bugs and glitches. If you're into this kind of thing, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Also, if you would like to request your own video today, click on the link in the description below and join the pro tier. Alright, let's get started. Number 10. The original Diablo was a behemoth of a video game. Released in the 90s, this dungeon crawling masterpiece would go on to inspire an entire genre of RPGs. When you boot up the game, you can choose from one of 3 characters: the warrior, rogue, and sorcerer. The sorcerer is easily the best character to choose, and with his mana shield, breaks the entire game. This glitch is referred to as the MS no stun and is activated when your character is damaged more than their maximum life and has the mana shield activated. This makes it so you will never be stunned. Now that may sound trivial, but enemies aren't immune to stun, which means that you can spam attacks without worrying of being interrupted. If a player uses the enemy Black Death to remove maximum health, this exploit becomes even more broken. Number 9. In Child of Light, there is a character named Jen. Jen is an overlooked party member in an overlooked RPG. She is the single best debuffer in the game. She has the ability to slow enemies on the timeline as well as paralyze them, essentially breaking standard battles. In boss fights, this strategy can be a little harder to employ, but it will often still work, making her an invaluable party member. Number 8. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 has a playable roster of 24 characters. 25 if you count Juggernaut. Among these playable characters, the Green Goblin is probably the most broken, but he's not accessible until the endgame. One character you can use early on, though, is Deadpool. And Deadpool comes with the single best skill in the game. Best one ever. This ability buffs all of Deadpool's stats, which is useful early on. But once you max the skill, it gives 30 bonus points to all stats, which turns Deadpool into, well, the best one ever. Leave it up to this guy to troll the entire game. Number 7. Pamela is a returning character to the Atelier series. She's also a ghost this time around in Manichemia. She uses a teddy bear as a weapon and has one of the highest damaging builds in the entire game. First of all, she is immune to all physical attacks and abilities, making up for her low defense and HP. But what makes her devastating is her skill No Bowling, which increases its damage based on how low her HP is. She can drain her own HP, and if used strategically, she ends up dishing out the most damage in the game. Also, don't worry, Manichemia fans, we'll talk about Muppy one day. Number 6. Unicorn Overlord is an absolute gem, and I've talked about it multiple times on the channel. One character I've waited to use on a list is the single best character in the game, as far as damage and stun locking goes, Unifi. Unifi is an archer who can hit every enemy on the battlefield. She also has the single best skill in the game, Glacial Rain, which she learns at level 30. Glacial Rain is a charge skill that by itself is incredible. It hits every enemy on the field for decent damage while also casting freeze. This effectively stun locks an entire group of enemies. If supported with other characters who can strip Unifi of her wait time and allow her to repeat Glacial Rain, you have an automatic and practically unblockable screen wipe. Number 5. I need to make a correction to a previous list. I mentioned that Marcus was a broken unit in Fire Emblem The Blazing Blade, which is correct. What wasn't correct was that he had the highest growth in the game, which I apologize for. That being said, a starting cavalry knight that actually has the best growth in the game is Seth from Fire Emblem 8. In Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones, Seth is available from the beginning and Erika's route, and absolutely breaks the stats of this and any other title. He essentially is a Cavalier on steroids, which is the single best class available and can easily solo the game in any difficulty. Number 4. I spoke about Lord of the Rings The Third Age in my Broken RPGs video, which you can check out here. This title can be busted in so many ways that it's hard to pinpoint any best strategy. That is, other than the elf Idriel. Idriel has Aura of the Valor, which is unlocked way too early in your playthrough. This ability can be cast on any party member, including herself, and lasts until the end of the battle. Aura of Valor will automatically heal a character upon death. Now that may sound busted as is, but the thing that pushes this ability over the edge is that once revived, the party member immediately gets a turn. If you're following, this means that Idriel is unkillable. If you use your first turn to cast Aura of the Valor on herself, Idriel will revive upon death, and can simply recast Aura of the Valor. Throw on her Frenzy ability that allows her to cast an additional spell, and you have an automatic win no matter what. Number 3. The Hyperdimension Neptunia series has never been my cup of tea, but tales of its antics have reached my ears. Specifically, the absolutely busted nature of the first title. In the original Hyperdimension Neptunia, the titular protagonist, Neptune, has a cheap, easily spammable ultimate attack that was so broken and so overpowered that it became an ongoing joke in the series moving forward. Number 2. Sonic Chronicles is not a good RPG. It's a cheaply made mess that does so much damage to the Sonic brand, or, well, whatever's left of it. It also has one of the most overpowered, ridiculously broken characters in existence. Cream the Rabbit has an ability called Refresh. Refresh restores PP to the entire party, including herself. At rank 2, it costs 8 PP but heals 10. She can also heal the entire party, remove all status effects, and generally makes it impossible for the enemy to defeat you. If you equipped her with the Chow Pharaoh, her inputs will never fail, meaning that she will enable all other party members to dish out damage. Cream makes Sonic Chronicles so easy that it's recommended not to use her. Not that you'll have a good experience either way. Number 1. The final member of this list is one of the most requested by my subscribers, and that is Raquel from Wild Arms 4. Raquel, with the right build, becomes not just your highest damage dealer, but overall the single best character in the series. Her ability Intrude allows her to take out mobs, and bosses absolutely melt to her single target damage. Once you get her late game weapons, especially her ultimate weapon, the gap between her and the other party members is simply unfair. Oh, wait, did you think that was all? That's just if you play the normal way. If you bring over save data from Alter Code F and use it to boost Raquel's Lombardia or Fafnir weapons, which you can get early on with the right strategy, she will obliterate any difficulty this game has to offer. If you want to enjoy the challenge of Wild Arms 4, I'd recommend not doing this. And that's my list. Did you see your recommendation? I have a ton more to go through, so be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to all my Patreon members for their support. You can support this effort by becoming a Pro Tier Patreon member today. I have a bunch of exclusive videos and perks waiting for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Hey everyone, if you liked this video, check out these others I've made.